are with the color shapes on it, those are the channel markers. At low tide, you can walk all the way out to the channel markers. And on the other side is a mud bank as well, so you can go across and just walk around on the surface. When it tides out like that, a couple of dozen people have been drowning, but you have clams on the side. Oh, so the things that climb around. Clams on the side, you've got oysters on the other side of the bay. Well filtered, and there's crabs, you know. These are the crabs in there, I'll point them down. Now, we have stored sometimes in fresh water, sometimes it's salt water. Tide comes in, it's salt water. Tide goes out, it's fresh water. And that back and forth between salt and fresh means there's a lot of nutrients in the tide, which leads to a stable fish population, which leads to a stable seabird population. So we're looking for three different kinds of seabirds. The first is herons, great blue herons, remarkable birds. They have a 6-foot wingspan, weigh about 6 pounds. And they have a very gentle looking flight, very distinctive when they fly. And very big position. They can stay up by the side of the water, stare at the water for hours at a time, and wait for a fish to come. They got into a big point. So the cormorants. Cormorants are a seabird, but they do not have a clue in the feathers like a duck. So you'll see on top of the water, you start getting their head sticking out. And it's a lovely little way great for swimming, terrible for flying. They can go into the water, so for hundreds of feet, to pop up the fish. When they fly, they found their way just to stay in the air. And the third side of the seabird we're looking for are seagulls. So many, many seagulls. Although technically these aren't seagulls. This isn't the sea, this is a bay. So that on seagulls they are bagels. I'll stop talking now. The coconut opens off that mess. There's a cormorant now with his head sticking out of the water, and he's gone that fast.
Hey guys, can I get tickets, please? Alrighty, welcome back aboard. Thank you guys. How are you doing today? Enjoying the trip so far?
There's a cormorant flying.
Thank you guys. Welcome aboard.
On the right. See how
Enjoy the
he's
rest of the
totally
trip.
in the air. Oh, there's a pelican flying along, flying left to right out there. Pelicans are amazing. You can tell them just fly. They flap their wings for a dozen times and you're going to fish right along. They're amazing fish. When they get up above the fish, and they tuck in their wings and boom into the water. It's pretty amazing to watch. All right, camera time. On the water side, there's an arched rock called Crab Rock. There's a tide pool in there. At low tide, you walk right out there and look down and see the fish swimming around. Like I said, sea tracks are called the three graces. You ever see like an online article, 16 prettiest parts of the Oregon coast? Almost certainly the 3 graces will be listed here. Let's photograph. And keeping around behind the 3 graces is a tiny little sea stack called Old Man with the Sea with his front little face. Next sea track is called Pointing Rock. It's points to the hill on the right side. On the Coast Guard, they don't call it Pointing Rock, they call it Painted Rock, because what seabirds do when they sit on rocks. There's a bunch of cormorants on the right-hand side there on the Pointed Rock. That is the opening to the Pacific Ocean. There's a bar there. The bar is a ridge of sand that goes from point to point. Makes it somewhat dangerous because the tide goes across the top, the water swirls around. And sometimes the waves will actually break across the bar. Oregon's got one of the more dangerous bars in the United States. To the right of the bar, that spindly tower belongs to the Coast Guard. Used to go up there with binoculars and watch the bar and check for dangerous conditions. They still do sort of, they've got cameras up there that's done remotely. They're monitors in the new Coast Guard station, they watch that. When there's dangerous conditions, there's a sign on the other side of the tower with flashing yellow lights. So you turn that on. If you're coming in to the flashing lights, you call the Coast Guard and work up a plan or discuss how bad the situation is. And this is where the crab are. So those floats, connected by a rope. Bait them up, let them soak for a couple hours and come back and see what they have. And sort of the ones they can keep and the ones they have to throw back. In fact, that boat out there, I think he's picking spots. This village is called Barview. It's called that because from here you can view the bar. Plant community, houses past the father, the son, mother, the daughter, that sort of thing. This part of the coast had art at every time from the 1950s and 1980s. After World War II, they put roads over the hills, but the roads went other places. Those places became prosperous. This became a bit of a backwater. In fact, we get to Rockaway Beach, you're going to see it, the houses still all boarded up. But 20 years ago, all of Rockaway Beach was boarded up like that. 20 years ago, people started moving back and big numbers because how pretty everything is. And a real renaissance. On the front side, lily pond. When you check those logs and such, we're looking for turtles sunning themselves. It's a little bit gray for that, but you don't know. So you see a log with a turtle on the point and call it out. There's a great blue heron on the log on the other side, off the log. That's a juvenile, he's on both sides. turtles. Not really surprised. They come out when it's sunny out. Another joke that was on out. Now, this is a temperate rainforest. There's a whole series of temperate rainforests that run from Tillamook, Oregon, all the way up to Skagway, Alaska. And they all have the same cause. Apparently, this wet and cool is persistently pushed across the sand and up the hills. And keeps everything wet and cool. This is why you have the same sort of plants and animals here that you might see on the coast of British Columbia or the southeast of Alaska.